Magandang umaga, Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao. Ito na po ang panglima at huling forum dito sa serye na aming hinatid po sa inyo para pag-usapan ang Philippine Development Plan. Ngayong umaga ang ating pag-uusapan Security, Justice and Peace cluster ng gabinete. Ang aking kasama ay napakagaling na abogado, Attorney Gabby Concepcion. Good morning, Attorney Gabby.
Good morning din sa iyo. At syempre, good morning po sa lahat ng sumusubaybay sa atin. Good morning din sa mga kagalang-galangang kataas-taas sa mga panauhin dito sa Kalayaan Hall.
Oo, we are at Kalayaan Hall at napakaganda pong we end the series in a high note. At itong pag-uusapan natin has everything to do with Philippines as a state, ano? Kasi pag-usapan natin sa law school, mga kabayan, itong soberenya, itong sovereignty, itong gobyerno, yun yung mga elemento na nagbubuo sa isang estado. Pero ito yung mga konsepto sa law school, pero itong umagang ito, with our Spratlys concern, with our negotiation, with to sa ating peace negotiation, mukhang magiging real itong mga konsepto na ito. Anong tingin mo dito, Attorney Gabby?
At saka siguro sana maging real din siya para sa mga sumusubaybay sa atin ngayon. Kuminsan, pag naririnig lamang natin sa dyaryo, sa radyo, parang masyadong malayo yung Spratlys. Hindi natin maintindihan kung ano ba talaga ang magiging epekto ng issue ng Spratlys, for example, sa bawat isang Pilipino.
At nariyan na yung ating concern sa ating peace and security, sa ating mga komunidad. At
napakarami pa man ding pangyayari in recent events.
At napakaganda at kausap po natin ngayon yung mga concerned government leaders para paliwanag sa atin ang plano. Pero let's welcome them. They're with us. Ang makakasama po natin sa umagang ito, yung ating Defense Secretary, Voltaire Gazmin. Magandang umaga, Sec. At para po sa Foreign Affairs Department, Undersecretary Esteban Conejos. At sitting in for E.S. Paquito Ochoa, the chair of this cluster, Undersecretary Michael Musni. Magandang umaga, Yusek. Pang-apat at pang-lima na nga ito, Attorney Gabby. No? Nauna, yung first forum is on economic development. Tapos, poverty reduction naman ni Secretary Dinky and her team. Climate change adaptation, nandun na po yung ating good governance kahapon. At ngayong araw na ito, security, justice, and peace. Pero maganda rin na marinig natin coming from the office of E.S. Paquito Ochoa, kung ano yung wisdom behind dividing the cabinet into clusters. Kasi medyo kakaiba.
Itong mga topics na binanggit mo, ito yung ginawang mga clusters.
That's right.
Ng presidente natin for more efficient governance.
Correct. Mukhang as compared to meeting the cabinet as a whole, ito parang dinivide sila sa limang medyo malalaking grupo over and above their specific department concerns. Kaya napakaganda pakinggan natin yung paliwanag. Sitting in for the chair of this cluster, let us welcome Undersecretary Michael Musni. Yusek, magandang umaga.
Magandang umaga po.
Yes, please explain to us, Yusek, kung ano yung wisdom behind the clustering of the cabinet at pati na rin po itong ating mandato nitong particular cluster that you are sitting in for.
Yes, of course. But before anything else, I'd like to greet everyone here. Good morning. In behalf of the Executive Secretary who wanted to really be here, unfortunately, you know, ang pagkakataong ito, hindi siya nakadalo. But ito po ang salitaing ito, itong discussion natin ay napakalapit sa puso ng ating Executive Secretary, and he wanted to really articulate his views on this. Basically, the cluster system was devised in order to come out with a governance that's both efficient and effective. Ang efficiency na gusto nating marating dito ay ang inaambisyon natin dito ay pag binuklod-buklod natin ang mga ahensya ng gobyerno at merong mga focus groups sila, kumbaga, ay mararating natin at ma-attain natin ang mga goals separately and individually ng clusters natin mas mabilis at sa mabuting paggastos ng mga scarce government resources. Basically, ang effectivity nito, ang effect nito, ang net effect nito ay we will attain and we will breathe life really to a word that is very difficult to understand and even comprehend when you're in the bureaucracy. That is coordination. Agencies have their own respective mandates. And the difficulty is that their own interpretation of their performance of their respective mandates are not very understandable when they work together in the system. But when they group together and when they collate their resources together, the achievement of their individual goals are a little more easier to do so. No? So the Executive Secretary wanted to really relay na for all the discussions in the previous fora that have been conducted here, ang gusto niyang idiin lamang is that ang cluster system nito ay unang pagkakataon na mapakita ng gobyerno ni Pangulong Aquino na ang hangad niya ay magandang pamamalakad sa ating pamahalaan. For example, in grouping specific action and focus groups on economic development, climate change, adaptation and mitigation, human development, good governance, and now the security, justice, and peace cluster, you will be able to articulate and really come up with programs and actions, targets, and lay out the foundation of all your activities towards that grand design. So, ang dulo lang ng aming hinahangad para sa ating sambayanan ay this is just all geared towards the upliftment of the quality of life of every Filipino here. Gusto nating maiahon sa kahirapan ang bawat mamamayan natin, particularly ang mga maralita, ang mga salat sa ligaya at salat sa mga pagkakataon ng buhay dito sa ating bansa. So, pag binigyan ng atensyon ng cluster ang 16-point action agenda ng Pangulo, kung saan yun ang tunay na plataforma ng gobyerno niya nung siya ang tumakbo nung nakaraang taon, yun ang hangarin ng bawat nagseserbisyo sa ating pamahalaan ngayon.
Yusek, sa isang taon na panunungkulan ng ating presidente, ano naman po ang tingin ninyong naging performance ng bawat cluster? Dahil nga makabagong sistema ito, hindi po ito ginawa sa ibang administrasyon. At sa tingin niyo po ba itong pinipilit po sila mag-isip ng macro, hindi naman po yung pinakamalaki, but within the mandate of that given cluster, sa tingin niyo po ba maganda ang naging performance ng mga 5 clusters?
Opo, tingin ko po ay maganda ang panimula ng ating administrasyon sa unang taon nila, unang taon namin, particularly, for example, sa economic development cluster. Ang goal po nito ay wala nang iba kundi economic growth. Gusto natin bigyan ng isang environment that is conducive to business, to invite more foreign investors, domestic investors also, to encourage enterprise, and of course, para magkaroon ng maraming trabaho dito sa Pilipinas. No? Sa unang pagkakataon, sa unang taon na nakalipas, we have sufficiently enhanced our fiscal position, and we continue to work on this para pagsumipa na po yung ating mga hangarin towards sa PPP, yung public partnership na ginagawa ng ating pamahalaan. Sa human development naman, wala hong core mission niya kundi to educate our populace. Ito po ay capacity building. We want to capacitate each individual to be more productive members of our society. Yung sa good governance naman, that is the core mission of our president when he ran for office. Kung walang corrupt, walang mahirap. So sapagkat yan ang ating misyon, ay wala ho tayong ibang hangad, kundi mapagserbisyohan ng tunay ang welfare ng ating sambayanan pag tinanggal natin ang korupsyon sa ating birokrasya. Yung Climate Change Commission naman ay siyempre nagbabago ang ihip ng hangin, so to speak. At kailangan tayong mag-evolve sa global phenomenon that is climate change. We need to prepare ourselves for mitigating and risk reduction measures para lang ihanda ang ating bayan para sa mga pagkakataong kinatatakutan ng lahat, hindi lang tayong mga Pilipino. At para naman sa security, justice, and peace. Of course, yung boundary natin, yung territory natin ang dapat pangalagaan. Yung peace process ay dapat matapos at makamtan natin yung tunay na peace and order. Yan po nakalahad sa executive order na inisyu ng ating Pangulo. At of course, yung West Philippine Sea is a very hot issue. That is a very important concern for the administration right now.
Oo. Yusek, ang ating executive secretary, si Paquito Gabi, pinili niya itong cluster na ito. Alam po natin yung ating ES, siya po yung talagang parang hepe ng gabineto or pinaka-senior among cabinet members at tinatawag nga pong little president ng iba. Bakit pinili niya itong mismong cluster na ito na pamunuan at bakit malapit yung kanyang puso dito sa security, justice, and peace cluster?
Well po, ang Pangulo po ang nagtalaga sa kanya bilang magiging chairperson ng itong cluster na to. Pero naniniwala po kami na ang chairperson ay isa lamang sa pangkalahatang magtataguyod ng programa at mga aktibidad ng cluster na ito. No? At hinihikayat niya talaga lahat ang mga miyembro ng cluster na ito na sa tingin namin ay magandang pagkakataon na pagbukurin pang subsequently into certain, kumbaga, subclusters. Meron talagang security and sovereignty cluster within this main cluster. Merong justice and rule of law at may peace and order na subcluster. No? So lahat those of our, and Secretary Volz Gasmin will be a very firm feature in the deliberations of the cluster towards the attainment of their goals.
Maganda at nabanggit nyo, Yusek, yung particular subcluster na yan dahil napaka-importante po sa atin yung ating sovereignty, security at wala na pong ibang pwedeng mag-explain sa atin ng mandato ng specific subcluster na yan kundi yung ating Defense Secretary Gasmin. Secretary, magandang umaga ulit. Tapos ano po ang inyong mandato under this subcluster within the context of your cluster para po masigurong yung ating bansa, Attorney Gabby, ay talagang yung sovereignty ma-preserve from internal threats at saka external threats na rin po.
Ako'y naghanda ng isang pambungad na pananalita at hayaan niyong basahin ko ang
Sige
aking
po.
hinanda.
Sige po.
Mga kababayan, as your Secretary of National Defense, let me apprise you of the humble deeds of your Department of National Defense, or DND, for the last 12 months. Entrusted with the mandate to oversee the implementation of the defense and security policies of our republic and ensure its sovereignty and the integrity of its national territory, we began our task based on the established ideals of our new national leadership: good governance, transparency, and accountability. Our first act was to formulate a national defense policy. This is the fundamental guideline of your DND on how to implement a rational and doable national defense strategy that would protect our sovereignty and territorial integrity and ensure lasting peace and stability. With your DND, with its agencies, the Armed Forces of the Philippines, the Office of Civil Defense, the Government Arsenal, the Philippine Defense Veterans Affairs Office, and the National Defense College of the Philippines, and the Veterans Memorial Medical Center, thereafter created a unified medium-term defense capability development plan from 2011 to 2016. Considering our meager resources, we devised and adopted the defense system of management for a more prudent, efficient, effective, and honest utilization of our resources based on the real needs of our agencies. In the pursuit of attaining lasting internal peace, we have implemented Internal Peace and Security Plan, or the Bayanihan, which involves an all sectors of society approach of winning the peace for national unity and solidarity. On the whole, we have a proposed National Defense Act that, if eventually approved, would enable your DND to be more responsive to the current and evolving developments in our domestic, regional, and global security environments. Today, we are very resolute in our goal of upgrading our armed forces' security equipment and hardware. In land, on air, and sea, our armed forces of the Philippines should be able to perform its constitutional mandate of protecting our sovereignty and territorial integrity. In the area of instituting reforms, we have made specific changes in the management of our financial and logistical resources. We can now assure our citizens that your DND and armed forces are now properly spending every peso of our taxpayers' money. And I'm here to renew my pledge that there will be no corruption under my watch. I likewise wish to reaffirm our military's commitment in the protection of human rights, respect for international humanitarian law, and abidance with the rule of law. I am also pleased to let you know that we have made concrete strides in our national disaster risk reduction endeavors. We have already gained the approval of our different stakeholders on our NDRRM framework that was signed on 16 June last month. We are now in the formulation stage of our plan of actions that would place our NDRRM framework into proper implementation. In addressing the current financial problem brought about by the huge monetary amount needed to pay the pensions of our retired military personnel, we are now in the process of drafting a proposed law on Philippine military pension system. With the passage of this new law, we will be able to solve this lingering problem affecting the financial benefits due to our veterans. There are so many tasks that lie ahead for the betterment of our government and people that your DND should relentlessly and devotedly belabor to achieve and carry on. A very reliable national defense and security policy strategy, a very capable armed forces that shall continue to guard our shores and skies, and a very patriotic soldiery that shall continue to offer the ultimate sacrifice of their lives for our democratic ideals. These are the fundamentals but incessant goals of your Department of National Defense in the years to come, and we intend to work on the best of everything in us until these objectives are done.
Sec,
Maraming salamat po.
Napakaganda pong pakinggan mismo from you, Sec. No corruption under my watch. Strong statement. Napakaganda pong very assuring sa ating kababayan. Napanood po kasi Attorney Gabby na ating mga kababayan through media, yung mga interviews sa mga investigasyon, na mukhang problema sa AFP that has been handed down from generation after generation. It's a systemic problem, Secretary. Mukhang nandun talaga sa sistema nung pag-release ng pondo, pag-disburse ng pondo, at sinong pwedeng gumamit. Simple question po, paano po natin binabago yung sistema, Secretary, at para maiwasan na po yung mga korupsyon na na-observe po natin?
Napaka-categorical po man din ang statement ninyo.
Opo.
Well, yung una namin ginawa ay ang lukuhan, doon nag-uumpisa sa conversions na pupunta sa kung saan-saan. Ngayon, may policy na ang armed forces na wala ng conversion. Bibigay na lang yung mga actual needs ng mga sundalo at ng mga opisyal sa kanilang trabaho. So, yan ang isa sa pinakamahalagang nagawa naming reforma. Pangalawa, yung Office of the
Controller.
Internal Auditor, the UESPA, the Office of the Judge, Office of the Provost Marshal will now be taken over or magkakaroon ng committee na mag-o-oversee doon sa functions itong mga ito upang sa ganon ay magampanan itong mga opisyal na ito ang kanilang trabaho sa paniniktik ng mga katiwalian sa gobyerno, sa armed forces, kahit yung chief of staff na amo nila.
Opo.
Pero yun yung going forward, no? Doon po sa napaka-categorical yung statement, ang pakiramdam ko, and I suppose yung pakiramdam ng maraming tao, parang parang level of comfort. Kasi po, wala pong padalos-dalos, walang mga kolatilya eh. So, medyo naniniwala kami pag sinabi niyo wala corruption. Pero that's going forward. Paano po yung black eye na nasuffer na ng ating AFP dahil dun sa mga nangyaring katiwalian? Paano nyo rin po ina-address yung mga nangyari na?
Well, yung ganon, meron kaming Special Investigation Committee na create upang sa ganon ay imbestigahan yung mga katiwalian nangyari nung unang panahon. At ito ay ina-address namin na kung kinakailangan kakasuhan. At yung mga flaws dun sa sistema ay yun ang inaayos namin upang sa ganun hindi na maulit ang problemang ito.
So medyo makakampante po ang ating mga taong bayan ngayon na hindi na nakalimutan yan. Hindi porkit hindi past is past, di ba? babalikan pa rin yon at kailangang panagutan ng mga dapat managot
Tama
para
yung
sa mga
tuloy-tuloy ang
problema.
investigasyon namin. Ngayon, mga taong kinakailangang kasuhan sa husgado ay kakasuhan namin.
Attorney Gabby, gusto ko itanong kay Secretary, yung para naman sa ating mga common soldiers, kung meron ngang nangyayaring korupsyon dati, yung ang balita po, Sec, na yung natatanggap nilang gamit ay substandard. Yung mga helmet, yung mga bota, yung mga ganung simpleng bagay na dapat binibigay natin sa ating mga kasundaluhan. Ano na po ang improvements dun sa equipment, basic needs of the soldier na dapat na ibibigay natin?
Ang mga gamit ng mga kasunduluhan ay nag-uumpisa sa project management team sa kanya-kanyang serbisyo sa Army, sa Navy, sa Air Force. At they will determine the kind of equipment they need for a particular mission. Ito ay dadaan sa proseso, pinag-aaralan yan, ano ang effectivity niyan sa bawat operation. Tapos yung presyo, pinag-aaralan din namin sapagkat alam niyo naman na tayo ay hindi kapos or hindi sapat yung ating kuwan. So, kinakailangan i-prioritize natin yung mga gamit sa tamang halaga.
Kaya importante lang po, wala pong nagiging korupsyon sa bidding, wala pong nagiging korupsyon
sa
doon
bidding ho natin ngayon sa DND BAC, meron na po tayong mga observers, pati media kasama nag-observe.
Nagvo-volunteer po si Attorney Mark.
We welcome you there.
Sige po, Sec.
At saka meron kaming grupo ng mga kaparian na nag-attend, Makati Business Club, nag-observe doon. At ito ay, nung una sinasabi nila walang projector for the documents. Ngayon meron na lahat. Kumpleto na ho ito.
Okay. Maggagap lang po tayo, Attorney Gabby. Babalik po tayo. Mainit na mainit ang simula ng ating talakayan. Beginning with the wisdom behind the clusters. Ngayon, AFP. Siyempre, concern po natin lahat ito. Magbabalik po ang Pilipinas natin.
sabihin natin ng Philippine position, ano? Kasi iba-ibang levels din yan. No? Una-una, yung position natin na yung sovereignty sa Spratlys, na teritoryo natin ito, at saka yung mga nakapaligid na tubig dito, ay meron tayong yung sovereign rights dun sa mga resources na nandoon. Pero kung ang pinag-uusapan natin, ang posisyon na ang solusyon dyan sa issue na yan ay dadaanin sa diplomasya. At kailangan maayon sa international law, kagaya ng UN Convention on the Law of the Sea at iba pang international law, nagkakaisa naman ang ASEAN dyan. No? May lakas ba ang boses ng Pilipinas? No? Meron, dahil netong mga nakaraang panahon naman, pinakita naman ng Pilipinas na seryoso tayo dyan sa claim natin dun sa lugar na yan. No? At handa rin tayong makipagtulungan sa ibang bansa sa paghahanap ng solusyon dyan. No?
Welcome back to Pilipinas natin. Hindi po choice ng bansa na i-give up yung kanyang sovereignty dahil kung walang sovereignty, wala na pong Pilipinas. Napakaganda nung sinabi ni Yusek Musky kanina, Attorney Gabby, na itong presidenteng ito nag-isip ng mga struktura for the cabinet to be more efficient na para mas maayos yung coordination at yung synergy.
Through the cluster system.
Correct. Oo. Tapos yung assurance naman coming from our DND secretary ng paggaganda na coming from him mismo, walang mangungurakot daw under his watch.
Oo. Sana naman hindi tayo ma-disappoint. Yung sa akin kasi, at tulad ng ibang mga taong nakakausap natin, pag yung isang tao nakapagsalita ng diretso at tinitingnan ka straight in the eye, malaking expectation na totoo siya sa kanyang sasabihin.
At you can't fake sincerity, you can't fake yung talagang determinasyon na yung may honesty na hindi siya palabas lamang.
I hope
okay,
so.
tuloy-tuloy po ang ating discussion dito. Security, Justice, and Peace Cluster. Si Secretary Gasmin has to leave for a very important meeting, but he left a very competent spokesperson of the AFP. Let's welcome to the panel Commodore Miguel Rodriguez.
Magandang umaga.
Magandang umaga po, Commodore.
Magandang umaga po.
At syempre, kasama pa rin po natin si Yusek Conejos. Yung comment natin earlier was on the Spratlys. I'm sure Yusek Conejos is raring to answer some of those issues. So, tanong ko muna kay Commodore, yung bago po tayo pumunta kay Yusek Conejos. Commodore, kumusta po yung ating modernization ng AFP? May pondo po coming from BCDA, nabanggit in previous mga discussion. May pondo na gumaganda naman yung remittance ng BCDA. Merong mga offers coming from suppliers na mas magagandang gamit. Ano po ang future nitong mas magagandang eroplano, hindi bumabagsak, mas magagandang barko na hindi lumulubog?
Alam mo, we never had it so good like this time. Kasi for the past 15 years na nakuha natin, ay kalahati na nakuha na natin under the first year of the President, kay President Aquino. Ang nangyayari ngayon is ang moral ng sundalo napakaganda because the best welfare that you can give the soldier is to equip him with the proper equipment because it lessens the risk kasi yung risk namin mataas, di ba? And it makes us more efficient. Kanina nag-usap kami ni General De Veraturda, ang ating modernization officer, at binabanggit niya na by November, darating yung 4 na Sokol helicopters natin.
Wow.
Ito yung ating combat utility helicopters. And nung isang araw lamang, pinasinayaan ni Admiral Pama, ang ating flag officer in command ng Philippine Navy, ang paglalayag ng Hamilton-class Weather High Endurance Cutter na papangalanan nating BRP Gregorio del Pilar. Ito magiging flagship ng Philippine Navy. In 3 weeks' time, nasa atin na yan.
Napakaganda. Mukhang with equipment, Attorney Gabby, with funds going to where they're supposed to go to, bota na mas magaganda, baril na mas maayos, is there a chance, sir, that we could win this war soon? Dahil sa totoo lang po, the Philippines is at war and continues to be at war with internal insurgents and yung ating mga secessionist groups.
I beg to disagree. We're not winning the war. We're winning the peace.
Okay, we're winning the peace. Good term.
Napakahirap. It is the peace that we are after. We have that already. What we want to do is to sustain that. And nakita natin yung inroads dito, yung primacy ng peace process na nagpirmahan na nung nakaraang linggo sa harap ng ating Pangulo, ang ating Cordillera People's Liberation Army. At ngayon, patungo tayo sa isang pirmahan na napakaganda sa MILF, pati rin sa CPP-NPA. At bukod pa doon yung primacy of human rights. Napakagandang pakinggan para sa amin. Kasi sinasabi ni General Oban at ng ating Secretary of National Defense, both the internal and the external audiences of the armed forces are looking at the leadership for guidance.
Gusto ko lang, kasi curious lang ako, no? Kasi recently nga, katulad ng Spratlys issue, parang sabay-sabay yung issue with yung internal security threats natin.